Okay, welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus and the Wasde report. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director of 10-Minute Trades. Please remember that all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. It is possible to lose money trading futures. Okay, how's everybody doing this morning? We're back after a very nice weekend, at least on my end. Wasn't too bad. Had a lot of fun. It always goes too fast, that's for sure. I wish we had 5 days of weekend and 2 days of week. I think we just have it backwards. That's the problem. Let's go to 5 days of weekend, 2 days of week. What do you think? I could go for that. Work for 2 days, take 5 days off. Now look, if you made enough money to do it, you could do it. So let's just make a lot of money for 2 days, then we could shut down for 5. All right. I actually like working. I don't mind working. But I'd much rather party. I mean, I could party with the best of the Kardashians if you get my meaning. All right, I do want to say hello to everyone that's watching us on YouTube. Yeah, retire out of college. So we're going to talk about the Wasde report, which is a grain report. It's been a little bit quiet over the past couple of reports. Um, we've definitely made our brackets smaller. Corn is the big mystery. Corn's been moving on the quarterly grain reports, but it hasn't been moving that much on the WASDE report, although last month it did move a little bit more. Now, first thing you want to check for folks that are on prop accounts, last month and the month before we could not trade corn. Now, I cannot check Apex because I haven't enabled my PA account on Apex yet. I forgot to do it over the weekend. So I don't have an Apex account that I can trade or check orders on right now. So we're going to find out right now. So I'm just going to put my Bullinox account on. There was a problem the last 2 months with corn. I don't know why, very honestly. It's don't get me into a rant. Okay, Bullinox will not let you trade corn. You cannot trade corn, but you can trade soybeans. At least we could the last time. Let's find out. It makes no sense. Okay, soybeans are okay. Corn is not. I don't know about Apex. The way you can check is you turn on your Apex, and then very far away from the current price, you can do a buy stop. If you put your cursor way up, click the chart so you don't accidentally buy a contract. You got to be far away, like I'm doing it with my bull knobs. My cursor's way up at the high of day, and I pressed the left button. Then I can do a buy stop, and you see that Bullinox won't let me trade corn. Okay, so that's a problem. I mean, that's a real problem for me today. It's really. I'm going to go on a rant because it makes me angry. And that's that. That's the end of the rant. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm sure it's related to the same thing about bonds. Bonds is an outrage. It's an outrage. Not to be able to trade bonds in a prop account is beyond an outrage. What would be beyond an outrage? An incredible outrage. But keep it in mind, no corn. Now, we really haven't been trading corn on the Wasde report. And the reason being is it really hasn't been moving much. What I was starting to say, though, is last month we did get a much bigger move than we've had in a while. Top Step now lets you trade bonds. I believe when I was on Top Step, I could not trade bonds. Apex, definitely. Although, as I've said over and over at the jobs report 2 weeks ago, I traded bonds on Bolonovs and we made money. So anybody that's using various prop accounts, type in whether or not you're allowed to trade corn or not. So corn moved, yep, 20 ticks last month. It was a small winner because the bracket's very small. I'm interested in trading corn, but maybe only as a trap trade. I do like the traps better on corn. Now, January, you notice, was a big move. That was traded with the quarterly grain report. Now, February, we've had two decent moves on corn out of three. Two decent moves on corn. It's definitely making a bit of a comeback. I still think our bracket of 6 should be safe. And you have to look at the 28 tick move as more normal than the 41 tick. The 41 tick move was pushed by the quarterly grain report. I don't expect a 40 tick move out of corn today. I do not. We have a trap that will give us a zone of safety of 35 ticks. 20 on the outer bracket, the outer tier, and a 15 stop. What I might do today is go with a 20 stop. If it wasn't so inconsistent, I would trade it in cash today. It's just got too much inconsistency. So I'm gonna, I guess, I really want to trade it, but you got to look at the reality. It's inconsistent. And the trap trade, the reversals have not been as good as they were previously. Let me show you. So you know that we always create a spike sheet. And for new people, a trap trade is a trade that we expect a reversal. And we're trading for the reversal to get our profit. If the market goes up, we short. If the market goes down, we go long. And if you notice, last month was not a very big move. And it was a lousy reversal. It only reversed 12 ticks out of a 20 tick move. March, it was a small initial move, but it had a decent reversal. And February was a small initial move, decent reversal. January, small reversal. And really, you got to go back to September, which is quarterly grains. Okay. No, I take that back. Let me take that back. September is not quarterly grains together with Wasde. It is not. So there was a decent move in September, and out of almost a year and a half, you can see September was the only decent move up until January. and January again was quarterly earnings. So corn is still not moving all that well. That's the truth. When you look at the grand history of over a year of trades, corn, the average is probably about 12 ticks on the spike, so it's not moving. Well, well. I like the trap on corn, but I'm not thrilled with, the mediocre reversal last month. It's just an unknown. It's too inconsistent. I'm just agonizing here over cash. It doesn't fit a cash trade. That's the truth. It doesn't fit it. And it's a sin that you can't trade it in prop. I would trade it in prop in 1 second. So I guess today I'll simulate the corn trap trade. I'll simulate it. Because in February, let's look at a video real quick if you don't mind. Let me show you something, because the February move doesn't match. Okay, here's February. Corn is on the right. Did I not record corn? It's possible that I didn't. On the right is corn. Now that was 2 minutes, 29 ticks. It was a 2-minute, 29 tick move. Very poor reversal. Very poor reversal. Okay, you can see the move down, and then really way more than 9 minutes to get a mediocre reversal, not even 50%. It's not my cash. I promised I would trade the best of the best of the best in our cash account, and the corn trap doesn't fit that bill. All right, so we'll simulate the corn trap. No thanks to prop accounts. They don't mind taking your money. They don't mind changing the rules, but they make me really aggravated at times, and I don't mind telling you that. You got to be aware of the truth, right? Nothing wrong with the truth. Right-click the chart, click on trap trade. We're going to trigger the trade at 11:59:55. And I'm going to use the 15-tick stop on the DMM. Here's our trap. Small tiers, 8 and 20. Tiers are a fancy way of saying brackets. All right. Going to label the trade trap corn. All right. And right now it's on sim unless I go wild and decide to cash it. Apply it, okay it, enable it. So my trap trade at the moment is enabled. All right. I'd also like to test the breakout. We need to see if corn is coming back for real. So I'm going to add a third chart. Third chart, ZC, 0725 is corn. And our breakout on corn is going to trigger at 11:59:58. 58. 59, sorry on that. 59 trigger. Our bracket is 6, and our targets are just 6 and 20. Absolutely, unequivocally, I would use a break even minus something on the target one stop move, BE minus 3, 4, or 5, and the stop is 20 on the breakout. Then we will scroll down. We will trade it in a different sim account so we can test it along with our other test. Remember, you can't trade two setups the exact same way on the exact same instrument in one account because the trades will interfere with each other. Okay? So we've shown everyone how to create multiple charts, multiple setups. In order to be able to trade multiple setups, Mohammed, I have to use iRes, and we are bugging our software developer to give us bigger charts, but it just is the way it is. There is a zoom available in the trade room where you can zoom, but I cannot trade with lower res because I can't show enough charts. So it's not us, it's the software, unfortunately. So it is us. But I don't know, we're not going to have an immediate solution for it, is the truth. Sim 202 is the account I'm using. I'm labeling it Breakout Corn, and just the whole setup starting from the top. The trade, first thing you click, double click News Trader Pro. So you left click the chart to get to strategy, double click News Trader. Trade type is a breakout trade. The activation time is 11:59:59 Eastern. Bracket is 6. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. That means one contract for each position. Profit target 1 is a 6. Target 2 is a 20. The bracket is 6. Target 1 stop move. If our first target gets hit on the breakout, our stop will automatically move to BE minus 5, break even minus 5 ticks. Stop is 20. Everything else is default. Scroll down to the account. I'm choosing my second sim account. I'm labeling the trade BRK corn, and then you apply it and OK it, and it'll show up in the control panel. Now, I'm changing the time to 0 for a second on the activation time to check the bracket width so we can manage the trade. You have to put your chart trader on the same account that you're trading, Sim 202 in this case. When I enable it, as soon as there's price movement, I should see brackets. The market's kind of quiet right now. There's my brackets. Very tight range on corn at the moment. So that's a manageable width. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to uncheck the enabled box on my corn breakout. I'm going to right click the chart, go to strategies, and readjust my corn breakout time to 11:59:59 so I don't put my orders on the chart early. All right. And then I'm going to apply it. I'm going to OK it, enable it, and now my breakout trade is ready. Now keep in mind, Wasde is not on any calendar. Every now and then it's on the Financial Juice calendar. It looks like they're not doing it today, though. Let me double check on corn breakout is 58, Roz. On soybeans, 59 on corn, 58 on soy. Corn is first. Corn is 59, and it's either one is fine. It's not critical on this report. This report's not going to trigger. Um, it hardly ever triggers at the exact second, and it usually is a couple of seconds after. And because it's not on a calendar, and because it's not reported with the squawk box, the only way we'll know the news is out is when we get movement and a fill usually. This particular trade, 59 and 58, virtually makes no difference. Why would I choose 58 over 59? Years ago, we used to use 57. Then the markets got so volatile, we couldn't always get 3 seconds of safety, believe it or not. And the reason is, if the markets are so volatile that you can't get your orders on without getting filled the minute the orders go on the chart, that's why you might have a longer time that you would enter before a report comes out. It's preferable to have more time because things get set. You have time for the order to get sent to the exchange. We don't want to be jumping on a moving train. I think everybody knows what I mean. You don't want an event to be moving before your orders are on the charts. Okay. So our breakout for corn is set, our trap for corn is set, and then I will trade soybeans in my Bullnox account. So we'll set up the trade, right? Left click the chart, activate, double click news trader. We're going to activate 11:59:58. We've got a bracket of 12. We've got targets anywhere between 8 and 30 is fine. The stop is 20. And I'm going to preach patience on this report. If it doesn't fill immediately, I'm going to let my orders stay on the chart for quite a while because we're seeing very delayed reaction on this report lately, and we're seeing slow movement on this report lately. I'm expecting better today, though. I am expecting better. I think we're going to get a quick, nice Wasde move. That's what I'm looking for. Trade type is a breakout, 11:59:58. Bracket of 12. We're going to test our bracket in 1 second. Targets anywhere between 8 and 30. Stop is 20. Can put my charts on sim for a minute. I'll test the bracket by setting the time to 0. First two numbers of the time go to 0. Software time that's set to 0 automatically triggers the brackets because the software thinks the time has already passed for the event. Okay, that's a little bit too big. That's perfect. Okay, we can cancel. Right click the chart, click on strategy, put the time back to 11:59:58. One more time, bracket of 12, position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Targets anywhere between 8 and 30. Target 1 stop move, break even -4. I'm prop account on soybeans. I like this trade on soy. I expect a good move. Don't forget to label. Don't forget to choose the account you're trading on. Don't forget to put the account you're trading on your chart trader. All right. And don't forget to click the enabled box to turn your trade on. And then one other thing I want to show everybody. Corn, I'm just simming because it's been quite inconsistent and somewhat untrustworthy. Mitten, if I was going to trade corn with cash, I would trade it as a reversal only. That's how I would trade corn. And I would put another setup on soybeans, reverse continuation. So click News Trader again. Trade type is reverse continuation. It's $12.50 a tick. One position will do a 20 tick target. We'll do a 20 tick stop. Reverse continuation. I'm going to label it. And I'll trade that in a different Bull and Ox account. I think I made a mistake. Yes, I'm glad I caught it. 12. Oh, I can't trade it in a different account. Okay, let's leave it on 12. So our reversal is on 12. Our breakout cannot be on 10. It must be on 12. The number of account that I choose has no interest to you. I just have to make sure I'm not trading an account that's not active. 12 is active. Okay, so our breakout is set. Reverse continue is set. Under normal conditions, the Wasde report often reverses. If you get a huge burst, a big candle burst, I would reverse that. Okay? If you get a slow, big, solid move, then you have to be a little more careful on the reversals. But the history of this report is that corn and soybeans often reverse. I don't see any questions at all online, so thanks everyone. If you don't mind hitting that like button, we would greatly appreciate it online there. Any questions? Everybody clear? Now, you know what I wanted to check? Going to New, going to Market Analyzer, I want to see, I'm adding to the Futures folder ZC0925 and ZS0925. Whoops, is there no 9? No, there must be. Did I do that wrong? ZS. There is no 9 on soy, so that means there's an 11. The reason I'm doing this is because I just want to look at the volume on 11. I want to look at 9 and 7 and corn 7. Soy 7, corn 7. So soybeans July, 98,000 daily volume, and very close in corn. Corn on September, which is their next instrument, is 30,000, which is a significant amount of volume. But interestingly, soybeans has 50,000, more than 50,000 on November already. That's something interesting that we often see with the grains. We see future, um, we see the future corn contracts and soybean contracts, particularly soy right now, having reasonably high volume. And I have never tested ZL on this report, Frank. Um, I can't imagine that a bracket of 10 wouldn't be safe. My question would be why? Why would you trade it as opposed to maybe just trading one contract of soy? Is Don, are you here? Donald, are you here this morning? Right now they're up. Right now soy futures are up. Now we have been exporting a lot of soybeans, and farmers had to be bailed out the last time we had tariff issues. People forget, no matter what words are spoken, the bailout was fact and science. Truth is science. Words don't mean anything if they're not true. Let's get ready. Farmers were bailed out. Farmers are significantly damaged with tariffs. So we're going to have a little breakout way on the right. We're going to have a trap trade in the center on corn. So we'll see how that shakes out. We'll have our breakout on prop all the way on the left. Trap orders can be seen, breakout orders. Now, please, am I looking at the wrong account? Yes, I am. It was a quick, wow, look at corn almost hitting the stop. I would increase the stop on corn. I would absolutely increase my stop on corn. I'm going to risk a crazy short on soybeans, reverse continuation. I'd be shocked if it doesn't reverse. Now I will increase the stop a little bit so I don't get stopped. I will give it a chance to reverse. Now both orders filled in the trap. We should get our reversal now. It's pretty strong news, so I would be aggressive. Okay, so I made a little bit more money on that reversal. We're going to go back, obviously, to trading corn breakouts and traps live. You can almost do both. So let's see what happens if this trap works. Look at the reversal that's taking place now. So Wasde did give us the better move that I was expecting. And in these markets, you can't be afraid, especially on a reverse continuation. Don't be afraid to increase your stop a little bit manually if it's on the verge of getting hit, especially with a move like this. Look, it went right to the high and broke it. The odds are phenomenal that you're going to get at least a partial reversal. And now the trap is starting to work. Again, we did have pretty strong upward news. I would use the low of the day as my second order, and I would look for a small profit on the trap. The trap is struggling because it was such a strong move upwards. So normally when I'm trying to exit a trade I think is troubled, I use the combine button to combine both orders into one so I can manipulate them together. So for instance, if I were, we've had a nice reversal, but because it went so high, we're not in safety yet. You follow me? We're still underwater on the trap. Corn was surprisingly very good today. It definitely is making a comeback now. It's obvious. It wasn't so obvious up until now. We're getting more data. We're definitely getting more data on corn. I was leaning trap. I still think we'll get the reversal. So let's watch for a few minutes. We'll look at the video in a minute. Soybeans were great. You had to be quick though. I had my charts on the wrong side, wrong account by accident, so I didn't see the breakout. It clearly looked like it hit one target, pulled back, and hit my stop. So now it's starting to give us our trap trade. There's no reason to keep your stop so big. Now I would put it above the high at the moment. And I would probably look to take a small profit on position one. I would probably combine the orders, is the truth, because this is a trap that may be troubled. It may not. Look at soybeans are now pulling back. What you want to do is shrink your stop. No matter what, you don't want to take a big loss on this when it's gone your way. Now it's starting to reverse a little more. Here we go. Now I would bring my stop to safety, so no matter what, you can't lose. And now you can keep your orders further away. Okay? What's the worst that happens? You get a small profit, but you get a big profit if we get down to the low. All right? So no matter what, you have three setups that worked. Three setups. You had corn breakout, the corn trap, and the soy. You had four setups: corn breakout, corn trap, soy reverse continue, soy breakout. So hopefully, you traded at least one of those. Hang on 1 second, folks. Bear with me. I can't. I don't want to move too far away, or my audio will be disconnected and the recording will be gone. Let me turn off this. I don't want to turn off this recording until the price is done moving. So the trap was awesome. The key with these traps is your zone of safety, right? Everybody understand, if your zone of safety is big, you can have a breakout that works and you can have a trap that works. Because look, if we go to the ruler and look at the trade candle, the orders went on the chart at the orange arrow and we spiked to the high. So we had a 32 tick spike, 32 tick spike on corn. Now hold on, folks, okay? I have to make sure they're not tearing up our street and towing our cars. Hang on, okay? All right, just my neighbor making a racket. Holy crap. All right. You could see All the setups were great. Every setup was great. Now, I would probably, okay, so look, corn looks like it has done its reversal. I would try to maximize my profit here. At least get $100 out of that trap trade. You could have had more if you took money before the second reversal has now taken hold. We had a move up, it reversed down, and now it's reversing off of that. Okay? Very, very common behavior for this report. All right. I do want to thank, I'm not closing the room. I want to thank everyone on YouTube for watching. We've had a really nice collection of winning YouTube trades over the past couple of weeks, streaming on YouTube. And we show winners and losers. We don't erase them from our website if we have a loser. So I want to thank everyone who enjoyed the stream today. We are streaming CPI tomorrow. So check your email for a link or just hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. And thank you for joining with us. And I'll see you YouTubers. I'll see you all tomorrow.